Okay, so I cannot believe that over the course of almost the entire season of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., let alone that this is the final season and not just any season, I did not do one of these videos, a trailer/synopsis. I remember I used to do like 3-4 videos a week, talking theories on one, a video on the trailer as soon as it dropped, a video on the synopsis as soon as it dropped, and sometimes even a 5th video because I talked the sneak peek for the upcoming episode. But this season did not really leave much to the theorizing part. Even the trailers, you look at them and you're thinking, okay, I'm gonna be watching this next week and I'm gonna be saying exactly what I say on the trailer, because from what it seems, the trailer is just giving you a lot of Easter eggs. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna set this aside, not gonna do that until maybe closer to the end of the season, because then we're gonna have a lot more to talk about. But that means that I've got to welcome you back, guys, to another one of my Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 7 videos and my breakdown of both the synopsis and the trailer of the penultimate episode of the 7th and final season of the series. Now, while I'm at it, and at the end of this video, I'm going to be talking some of the theories out there, some of what I think holds true, and some of what I think doesn't hold true. As per the usual, though, with these kinds of videos, let us check out the trailer first, and then break it down.
You must be Daisy. I'm here to help. I want to be an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Why not let S.H.I.E.L.D. make this universe the best it can be?
And how do you plan on doing that?
Killing.
Director of S.H.I.E.L.D. gone rogue.
You have just scored front row seats to the greatest show on Earth.
Control your power. You want to see control?
Alright, so the first scene on this trailer, we've got an angry Daisy over the death of Jiaying. Man, her anger is not just directed at the immediate killer, aka Nathaniel Malick, but it is also directed at her sister Kora for supporting Nathaniel Malick. That is why when the trailer starts, we've got Kora, she's like, hey, you must be Daisy. And Daisy's like, I've got no time for talking, I'm just gonna quake your ass. Now, there are multiple views to this situation, especially from Daisy's perspective. For one thing, she's looking at this girl and she's thinking, this is the daughter that my mother was so broken over. This is probably part of how my mother got to decide I'm gonna be villain in the end. She's had bad luck with this first daughter, she's had bad luck with Hydra, and she ended up becoming a villain. And I got the bad side of my mom when she was a loving woman to start with. Like, she could have given me the kind of love that she's trying to give this one, yet this one is very unthankful and very ungrateful. That could be one perspective of Daisy. There's also the other perspective, the pure anger perspective, like I'm finally getting to know my mother before she became that mother I did know in that previous timeline, and you helped that guy to kill that good mother that I never really had. In both cases, avenging Jiaying is a big part of this bit, avenging her from Kora, even if not by killing her, but at least by making her feel some pain. That seems like quite the important thing to Daisy. But okay though, we've got the first bombshell out of this trailer, Kora going, I'm here to help, I want to be an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. You could see that almost everyone on that scene is pretty skeptical. You can see that Daisy is skeptical, you can see that Mac is skeptical, and you can see that Coulson is kind of surprised by the offering. I mean, it hasn't been so long, like only a few hours since you've been helping Nathaniel kill people, and now you want to be an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. You want to go from evil to good in 5 minutes. That's kind of unbelievable. Now, I did say when reviewing the most recent episode that Kora did seem like she was redeemable, like she's not so much into killing yet, but from all her facial expressions on this trailer, I'd say this is not the face of someone who wants to be on the side of good, who wants to do something good, who really wants to join S.H.I.E.L.D. to do good. And it is pretty clear from her talk about making S.H.I.E.L.D. into a place that can help the universe become a better place through killing, which is not necessarily the same order we're going to be hearing things on the episode. Like I've always been saying, trailers could be tricky, and these could be out of 2 completely different scenes. But if that were to be true and these 2 statements were connected, then yeah, Kora is so far gone. Now, before I continue with the rest of the trailer, I'd like to actually read the synopsis of next week's episode. So, as per the usual, let's start with the header, which reads, it is time to get unpredictable on the penultimate episode of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The body of the synopsis, on the other hand, reads, brand new day. With the help of Kora on the inside, Sybil and Nathaniel continue their fight to shape a dark new future for S.H.I.E.L.D., managing to stay one step ahead of the agents along the way. If the team is going to turn this one around, they'll have to get creative and maybe even a little out of this world on the penultimate episode of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, the thing that pertains to the part of the trailer I've already discussed over here is the part about her being on the inside. So she is still serving Nathaniel, and Nathaniel is in turn serving Sybil, working with Sybil. That means that she is not really into becoming an agent, into becoming a better person. She's in there to destroy S.H.I.E.L.D. And I'm really hoping their statement out of the synopsis, about shaping a dark new future for S.H.I.E.L.D. does not include S.H.I.E.L.D. itself being dark, through the killing bit that she was talking about, because that would be such a silly plan. I mean, no one would allow it, none of the members of the team that we know so far. Now, we've also got the bit on the trailer about the director gone rogue, the comment about Coulson. It seems like the director and Daisy have gone rogue, and they're out there trying to save Simmons. I'd assume that much. I don't think Daisy will accept that Simmons has been taken. There's a certain strong relationship between the two, a strong friendship, and I don't think Mac will accept it too. I think Mac will go against everyone's advice and jump head first in order to save one of the members of his team. Now, the final thing on this trailer is about control, May to Kora, control your powers, and this is the part of the trailer that makes me think Kora might be redeemable. I mean, this is May trying to help Kora, this is May trying to train Kora to control her powers. The entire problem with Kora is about controlling her powers. That's what happened when she got them. She could not really control them, and she went on rampages. She didn't mean to, but she did, and that was the major problem. She always felt like everyone didn't like what she was doing, didn't like her. That is why when Nathaniel came in, you could use your powers whatever way you like, whenever you like. You should use them for destruction, for anarchy, for chaos. She fell for it right away because, yeah, she has always felt like she's the odd one out, and Nathaniel made her feel, you'd fit right in with my chaotic plan. But that, though, was the trailer for you, so let's jump back to that part of the synopsis that is not really addressed on the trailer. That's all the part about them getting creative, the S.H.I.E.L.D. team, because the Nathaniel team is one step ahead of them, maybe multiple steps even, and the exact words read, they'll have to get creative and maybe even a little bit out of this world. Now, the part that hit me really is the part about a little bit out of this world, because the thoughts over here are many. I'm thinking out of this world could mean something like the dark dimension, could mean something like the framework. That's a totally different world. Maybe it's about building something or someone out of the framework. I'd say Madam Hydra is a possibility. I'd say that a Dr. Fitz is also a possibility. Think about it this way, this new Nathaniel that we're watching over here, he's nothing like his counterpart. The original Nathaniel out of the original timeline, who used to worship Hive, who used to believe in Hydra. This one does not believe in Hydra, he just doesn't believe in making an entity into a bunch of gods. So yeah, he's not into that shit. So he is against Hydra. The Chronicom's original plan was to destroy Hydra, and what is better to defeat this guy and the Chronicoms, represented in Sybil in this case, than actually team up with Hydra. Use the minds of Hydra and the minds of S.H.I.E.L.D. to defeat that team that's trying to destroy both. Because in the end, the goal here is to make Earth into Chronica 3, which means that they want to destroy everything that would pose resistance to them, be it Hydra or S.H.I.E.L.D. I think that would mean that we'd be getting a big surprise in next week's episode. I'm sure hoping we'd get a big surprise in next week's episode. The Doctor would be a great addition, even though that's not really going to count as the real Fitz appearance. That's just gonna be his alter ego from inside the framework. In the end, I'm wishing for one of three options, either Madam Hydra, the Doctor, or Ghost Rider. But that, though, brings us to the guest starring list on next week's episode, and Enoch seems to be making a return on the episode because Joel Stoffer's name is right there. I'm thinking here there's another Enoch out there, that's for sure. I mean, he's been out there for thousands of years in this reality as well, doing his anthropologist work, watching humans, observing them, and all of that good stuff, and it is possible that he's gonna be picked up by either one of the two teams. So yeah, Enoch is back at least for one more episode. On another note, the out-of-this-world statement on the synopsis could refer to Enoch, because he's not really from this world. In the end, Enoch is a Chronicom is an alien, he does not belong here, so this could all be about Enoch. But that, though, concludes the part about the trailer. Let's talk some of the theories out there and talk why or why not they are actually viable. Okay, so let's start with the Simmons is an LMD/Chronicom bit. I know some people are still insisting that this theory might actually work, that Fitz and Simmons are dead, but the answer is no. Simmons is no LMD, she's no Chronicom. I think our core hints over here are the fact that she's the one who fixed the EMP, she was the one next to it, and while Coulson and the Chronicom fighting him and the other one fighting May and Yo-Yo did fall victims to that EMP, she did not. So the answer is no, she's not really an LMD with Chronicom parts just like Coulson, as a lot of people have been speculating. The other major hint though is that May got all giddy over that piece of S.H.I.E.L.D. tech. She felt Simmons' emotions, and she did state later on she's getting nothing out of Coulson. So the answer is no, Simmons is not an LMD. That though brings us to the other theory out there about Simmons. Simmons is not an LMD, but she's an old woman. She's grown so old with Fitz, and the chip in the back of her neck. That's not just a memory suppressant, that's also acting as some de-aging agent, like providing some kind of masking to the aging process while the chip is inside her. Now sadly and unfortunately I did still get comments on that one even after they removed the chip out of the back of her neck. The answer is no, she's not an old lady. The entire concept of the choker and the Red Priestess, Melisandre, does not really work because the chip was removed and she did not really show a different age. So the answer is no. That though brings us to theories number 3 and 4, and I'm going to discuss them together. Fitz is dead is one theory, and the other theory is Fitz is dead and Simmons killed him. A little bit of an addition on that one. Now you could use certain aspects of the season, certain bits out of this season to support this theory, but you're kind of forgetting certain key moments that does negate that Fitz is dead. Alright, so the first piece of evidence here is out of the finale of Season 6. Fitz communicated with Jemma right before they made their first jump to 1931, went along with the team that she picked up right out of that temple where they fought Izel and Sarge, aka Pachakutik. She communicated with him and he communicated back, told her it's okay, gave her the green light, told her to tell the team that he is sorry he cannot be there. So no, he's not really dead. And yeah, I know a lot of people are gonna go, this might be a recording. Okay, let's listen to the rest of the pieces of the evidence, which when put together with this, kind of negates the idea that this might even be a recording. Okay, what's the other piece of evidence? The other piece of evidence is right out of episode 9, one of the most recent episodes of the season. Now the core reason Jemma and Enoch are objecting to that piece of tech being removed out of her neck is that they want to protect Fitz's whereabouts. It doesn't make any kind of sense if Enoch would be doing all of that, knowing that Fitz is dead, which negates the entire thing about what he said at the end of the episode, because that could be looked at in so many ways. We're just looking at the words and then explaining them in the one way that fits our theories when it could mean a lot of things. I mean, yeah, for one thing, it could mean that Fitz is dead. That thing about past tense when talking about Fitz being his best friend. But there were other aspects to Enoch's statement. He was talking about how he understood friendship when he met this team. Maybe he meant that in the past Fitz was my best friend. He's the first guy out of this team that I met. But then after that, all of you became family. All of you became best friends. Maybe he meant that in the past he was the only best friend. And now all of you are basically my best friends. He may have meant it in the sense that he has not seen Fitz in a while. He was my best friend, but sadly I'm not meeting him anymore. He's not around at this point in time on this mission. That's all a possibility. But let us not forget as well that Enoch too probably does not remember what's going down with Fitz. He's probably had his memories suppressed too, otherwise all of this makes absolutely no sense. Because we know the memories of Chronicoms could be extracted as well. We did see the torture of one of them on board of the Zephyr earlier this season, and he kind of gave up some information, not too much, but definitely some information. So it is either that you suppress both the memories of Simmons and Enoch, or you don't suppress either. Because if you suppress the memories of one, leaving the memories of the other, you're still leaving one of them with memories that could be extracted by the Chronicoms. Now the last thing is about Simmons' devastation, which people kind of decided, okay, that means that Fitz is dead, but then some people ignored that she kept going, what have I done? And even the people who did not ignore that decided that this meant that she's the one that killed him, and I think that's pretty silly. The trend with Fitz and Simmons over the course of so many seasons is these two will die for one another rather than kill one another. These two would kill anyone that tries to harm the other rather than kill one another. So to assume that either of them killed one another is kind of silly at best. I mean, it doesn't make any kind of sense. And if the writers are going in that direction, that would be extremely stupid and silly as well. But there's one theory when it comes to Simmons' situation, what she's trying to forget. Part of what she's forgetting, besides the location of Fitz or the whereabouts of Fitz, that would be her daughter. Not necessarily named Diana, but Diana the chip. That was a replacement. That emotion that she's got towards Diana the chip, that was used to replace her emotion towards her daughter. I'm thinking the message that we're supposed to get over here is that maternal instincts are so strong, she's got to have had them replaced by something else, and that was basically the time and effort put in Diana. Like Diana the chip was basically a replacement emotionally for her daughter until she realizes she has a daughter, and that's why a very viable theory is that leaving that daughter behind might have been just the thing that got her all devastated when they removed the chip on the 9th episode. But that brings us to one last theory, Old Man Fitz. I know it sounds cool because Old Man Cap from Avengers Endgame and Old Man Logan from the comic books and also the Logan movie, but I think it doesn't really make any kind of sense. I think it would also be stupid on the side of the producers to try to draw this parallel to Avengers Endgame. If this is not Old Lady Simmons, then there's no Old Man Fitz. That would be a very weird twist, especially that they've got to explain all of that in such a short time. Next episode is not gonna explain anything based on the trailer, and the finale has got 2 hours to wrap up the entire series, not to explain who Fitz is at this point in time, and not to explain how he became Old Man Fitz. A lot of people think that makes sense because they're gonna get him out of space again, you know, out of that ship that Enoch took him on towards the future, but that will be repetition. And even that little bit of proof that people have got for this theory, you know, Simmons' continuous cryptic talk about the amount of time that they spent improving the Zephyr, getting it to its current state, and getting ready to time travel and face off with the Chronicons. I think the answer to that one is she does not even know how long. She just knows it's long, but the chip is suppressing that part of her memories as well, the time that they spent preparing for all of this. I think we all need to remember as well, you know, that some of these things are basically about misdirects. They're not real, they're not going to happen. That's not going to be the case in the end. The ending is going to be satisfying. And I don't think that the FitzSimmons fans who've been hating how many times they have been separated over so many seasons will be satisfied with this kind of ending. Oh, Fitz is dead. Yeah, they had a happy time together while, you know, fighting Chronicons and being chased by them, but nonetheless, he's dead. That's not going to satisfy anyone. But having said that though, I wanted to spread this over 2 videos, but I decided let's cram it all in one video, let's talk about it all in one video, and then get all people's comments on this video. Maybe I'm gonna have something else to discuss on that second video, you know, all about these theories, all about the points that you're gonna make in the comments down below, so please make sure you leave them down below. Let me know as well if you did like this video by dropping it one of those much appreciated likes, subscribing to this channel, and make sure while you're at it to enable notifications in order to get updates whenever I upload a new video, publish a new community post, or start a new live stream. But until the next time that you tune in for another one of my videos, thank you so much for tuning in to this one, stay safe, and have a great day.